Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Ying Meets Yang of Gaming. We're on our next episode here. We're talking about a couple things this week. This past week, we had a Nintendo Direct. The first one in like 500 and some days. Like 500 days. I don't keep track of it because I got too much stuff to play, but some people are, uh, um, holier than thou and they keep track as to how long between directs. I don't. Sorry to tell y'all that. I don't. We're gonna also talk about the pricing situation in some games because the Nintendo Direct has brought about some discussions about pricing with Nintendo, things like that. But this is a lot with a lot of companies. Also, we're going to be talking about structures of how things are going. Right now, structures are changing in the gaming scene, and some people are liking it, some people are not, and some people are jumping the hell off ship like it's like they're a rat on a sinking ship. We're going to discuss all those things this week, along with what games we've been playing and what games we're looking forward to because the Direct announced a lot of new things for me to be looking forward to. And I'm sure Storm has a lot of things that he's looking forward
Oh
to, not
hell yeah!
even Nintendo related. So let's get into this. This is last week we missed it because it was Valentine's Day. I hope everybody had a wonderful Valentine's Day. Harry, thank you for showing up. And we also have Charles in the chat. Thank you guys
Charles and
for
Harry.
showing up. Okay, let's get started. Storm, how have you been? How has your week been? What's been going on with you?
Hey, honestly, it's been pretty good. Gaming is keeping me grounded. I'm just so there seems to be a lot of news coming out now, Bunny, and it's kind of like hard to keep track of all of it. But I've been playing the hell out of some games. I mean, across multiple platforms, Series X. Been getting my ass kicked on the Call of Duty, and then I do okay, and then I get my ass kicked again, the Black Ops Cold War, and then I do okay. But been mixing it up as usual. Last night I did a hellified, in my opinion, a hellified stream on Stadia, right, where I played some Sekiro, and then I jumped over to a comparison. Somehow it just turned into a comparison between Stadia, GeForce Now, and Luna. But I thought it was fire. We had some people, show up and show some love, and I think I'm gonna start doing more of that. So that's pretty much it, Bunny. I mean, just loving gaming still.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We had to keep ourselves busy during this whole time. So for me, my week's been normal, working a lot. I haven't been able to play nearly as much as I wanted to because things been going on at work where I've been extremely tired when I come home. So I haven't really been playing. I was hoping to get the next chapter in Monster Hunter Worlds done, my next quest line, but I haven't even been in it this week. I just been playing some very, very chill games. Um, a new update for Stardew Valley came out. I had to jump on it. Things like that going on. Let's get into this. So, as we all know, on I believe it was Thursday, the 17th, Nintendo had a direct, the first one in like 500 and some days. I don't keep track with all that. I got too much to play to worry about when Nintendo's announcing new stuff. Um, and the direct, one of the big highlights of the direct was Splatoon 3 is coming out in 2022. That's even causing some drama among some people because they saying it's too soon. It's been 5 years since the last Splatoon game. Um, what's too soon and what's not too soon? You see what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
5 years, I think, is a nice break between one game and another game and a sequel, especially with this being a shooter. Most people want new shooters every year or two. Look at Call of Duty; they release a new Call of Duty every year. That has bound to get repetitive and boring. Actually, somebody came at me on Twitter about how I don't know why you're hype about Splatoon 3. It's going to be the same thing. Nintendo don't do a lot of changes when they come out with a new game. They do this, they do that. But the thing is, Splatoon is a multiplayer online shooter.
Right.
Between iterations, you're not going to get that much of a change. They're going to add new maps or change new maps, add new weapons, take away weapons, upgrade weapons, and you're going to get new gear. That's common in all multiplayer shooters, whether it's Splatoon, Call of Duty, Battlefield. Okay? So with shooter games, that's common with an online shooter game. Do you agree or do you disagree with that?
I agree, but I want to ask you something. So the
Hmm.
last Splatoon was released when?
2017.
2017. That gives the developers a good solid what? We'll say 3 years. Or I know they
Well,
had
you
to. I know
gotta.
they.
Well,
I
here's the thing about Splatoon.
yeah.
The team that worked on Splatoon also worked on Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Okay. Okay.
Splatoon came out, a lot of that team they were doing updates and things like that for Splatoon, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them also started jumping on Animal Crossing. So
Okay.
like the head guy over on Splatoon was working on Animal Crossing with the head lady on Animal Crossing.
All right.
So now Animal Crossing's out. It came out 3 years after Splatoon. Now they're shifting focus. They're still doing stuff for Animal Crossing, but a big chunk of the team is moving back to Splatoon.
Okay.
So that's how they work. So because like I said, I know a lot of the people who were making Splatoon is also helping with Animal Crossing. And now, most likely, the people who were in Animal Crossing, they're going to leave teams there to continue to do stuff for Animal Crossing, but they're going to also shift focus to start helping out on Splatoon.
Okay. So we got 2017 it released, and it's
Hmm.
2021. Now is the game slated for 2022 or this year?
2022.
2022. So that's an additional year. Now they did have their hands in Animal Crossing. Some of the team shifted focus
Hmm.
over there. I'm thinking about Activision and Treyarch and how they do things on the Call of Duty that you just mentioned, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you're right. Those updates appear to be marginal at times. You know what I'm saying? You get the same small map rotation in the beginning, and then they release more maps over time and stuff as the life cycle of the game continues, right?
Hmm.
But in this case, Bunny, I'm like, so the fans, how do the fans feel about it?
Most of us are excited about it. But then there's some who are saying, well, Nintendo isn't going to do much to upgrade it, not going to do this, not going to do that. You know how Nintendo are when they say it's basically going to be a re-release of Splatoon 2. But here's the thing, between Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, they changed, I believe, almost all the maps. All new maps came in for Splatoon 2. And they also changed the weapon sets that were
Mm-hmm.
in Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2. Now, when Splatoon 2 came out, you remember how we were having Splatfest and everything?
Yep.
They had a whole year stacked of Splatfest, year or two of Splatfest tournaments. They ended them, and the latest Splatfest tournaments have mostly been re-releases of previous Splatfest tournaments.
Yeah.
But as special upgrades and stuff, they've been redoing some of the Splatoon 1 maps and bringing them to Splatoon 2. Um, yes, bad latency. Welcome to the chat, bad latency.
What up? What
You're
up?
right. From what they showed in the trailer, it looks like it's going to be a lot of new changes to Splatoon 2. I mean, Splatoon 3. So my thing is I expect with an online multiplayer shooter, I expect you're going to have new maps, new gear, new changes. New gear and new weapons. Those I always expect. Okay. So right now, like I said, it's been 5 years and
That's what
they've
I'm saying.
already stopped updating Splatoon 2 with new Splatfests and things. Like I said, any Splatfest except for the Mario Splatfest that just came out in January for Mario 35th anniversary, the last 2 to 3 Splatfests have been repeats of previous Splatfests.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, we're still getting a few updates here and there, but they're not even focused on it too much. So that's one thing that is caused, like some people are like, oh well, you know how Nintendo are, they're not going to update the game, they're not going to do this, it's going to be basically a Splatoon 2 remake and things like that, but they're not even updating Splatoon 2.
Yeah, Bunny, this is making me think about like people and it's crazy in the stadia community, for example, where people just want roadmaps and shit, and then when they get announcements ahead of time, like here we are in the beginning of 2021, and then the game is slated for release in 2022, people are
Mhm.
already complaining. And based on what Bad Latency is saying right here, if that and I need to go back and check it out, and I will do that during the show. I want to check that.
Actually, I
Oh,
can
you're gonna?
play it for you, I
Yeah, I
believe.
want to check that out so I can
But
see,
you
because
just
I
won't
saw
hear anything.
it's all good. I saw enough of Splatoon 2 to see that it was a fun ass game. I saw a U Planet. I saw 6-4 Planet in the Stadia community. I saw him on the Switch version
Oh
of the
my
game
god,
or whatever.
it's a
Like
great
he just
game.
talking about it, and it looks fun as hell, man. It looks fun as hell. It looks like everything works good, feels good, and it's an exclusive game. Am I right?
Yes, it is.
So
It's a third person shooter. You got to
right,
think when Splatoon 1 came out, it was battling Call of Duty for the top spot in the world for shooters. It was at
that's
number 2 under Call of Duty.
that's huge, and so that's what I'm talking about. So that of course it's going to take some time to put polish on that and bring new content or whatever. But people don't even know what the hell they're going to get officially in the
Yeah.
game yet.
You
They
ready to
don't
look?
know. They don't know
You re-
what the maps are going to be like. They don't know what is going to be new, like what features, what new weapons and shit yet, unless they made all that transparent. But let's check it out.
uh, I'm trying to
Oh,
cut down the sound here so you don't hear
okay,
the
yeah,
sound.
yeah.
But
I
this is
want
it so far.
I want to check this out because that is a game that I do like. I do like
Hmm.
that. Haven't never played it, but I know enough. I've seen enough about it that I will jump into it if I had a Switch or if I were to get
Oh,
that.
this is going to be day one for me.
Yeah. So if they were to get a new, hopefully that 4K Switch comes, man.
Nah, but we're going to also discuss something else here.
Okay.
Like that bow, that has never been in Splatoon. And we never had a little buddy.
Okay. And I'm assuming the little buddy, I can already tell. I could already just tell, not knowing anything about it. I'm sure that buddy is going to be a companion that can help you with different things or whatever. We'll see. Or maybe it's cosmetic. I don't know.
But here's the thing also, like, I'm wondering if they're gonna also, because like with Splatoon 2, it was all multiplayer. They came out with a single player mode that was the Octopath, the Octo expansion, which was $20 additional.
Hmm.
So I don't know if they're gonna incorporate maybe the single player into the multiplayer for one game. Don't know yet. But it looks like it's a whole new area. You don't even look like you're in the big city. They changed up the city and things, it looks like. But
How many maps are typically in Splatoon? Like how many, like a ballpark figure? How many maps?
typically it is 5 to 6, maybe a few more. But what they do is every 2 hours they rotate the maps in all of the formats. So like there's turf war, there's ranked, and then there's league.
Hmm.
Okay. Every 2 hours, the maps rotate in each one. Also in ranked and in league, the format changes every 2 hours. So like right now we have turf war, which is the one everybody starts in. But then
Yeah.
when you get into like ranked, you have tower control where you're riding a tower. Your team is riding a tower, trying to control a tower to get to a point, and the other team's trying to take the tower and take it back to the other way.
Yeah.
Then there's clam blitz, where it's basically football, but you're playing with clams, and you have to go around collecting clams and throw them in the other team's basket.
Okay.
There's
So was
also,
that the end of the trailer right there?
yeah, that was the end of the
That
trailer.
doesn't even give people enough to even complain either way. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like,
Hmm. So yeah, like I said, I've had people come at me on Twitter about it. So that's the thing. So the other main contender is Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword.
right.
It is a port from the Wii. Don't know if they're adding anything new. The only thing we do know is they're changing. They're making it. First off, they're making it HD. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, they are changing the controller settings around. On the Wii, the only way to play it was with motion controls, with the Wii Mote and the nunchuck. They're now making it so that you can take the Joy Cons off and use them as like motion controls, or they're adding an option to where you don't have to use motion controls. Like if you have a Switch Lite, there's no way you can use motion controls.
Right.
So they're changing that up also. But the biggest thing that has people upset about that is the price of it. The price is going to be $59.99.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And there's two ways of looking at it, in my opinion. But when you just heard that price, what's your thoughts on that price?
My thoughts were like, hold on, is this a new game from the ground up? $60 we're talking about here, or is it about to have some major content included for that price? Now, if it's gonna have major new content and stuff, then I'm good with that. But if it's like a remaster or something with new
It's not
textures,
even a remaster. They're just turning it from regular definition to HD definition.
man, that is a hell no. Like, you
Okay.
sure? Hold on, I gotta ask you if you're sure. Like, are you
Hmm.
sure about this? That there's not gonna be any.
Weird, but see, that's the thing. The only thing they told us was they're going to make it HD and they're changing around the controller settings. Beyond that, we don't know anything.
Well, they need to come out with some more surprises because $60, I don't know. I don't know, Bunny. You know what I'm saying?
Um, my thing is let's see here. Yes, bad latency. Horde mode is great in the Salmon run. Um,
$60 is a lot
yes,
of damn money
Charles.
for
Wait a
the
minute,
same
Charles.
game.
Wait a minute. They're saying one thing here, real quick, about Splatoon. Charles has said they should make Splatoon 2 free to play at this moment because he can't see anybody buying Splatoon 2 with Splatoon 3 on the way. But remember back here at Christmas and Thanksgiving when they had released the Splatoon 2 controller with the game digitally for a Christmas bundle? Storm?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking to chat. My bad.
No, no, no. I was talking to both of you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Remember this past Christmas, they sold it, and I couldn't understand it. We talked about it on the commission. I couldn't understand. I said something must be going on for them to re-release the
Hmm.
Splatoon 2 controller and a digital version of
Yeah, yeah, I
Splatoon
remember
2.
that. Yeah.
This must be why. They must have been wanting to get more people playing the game so that they can have a bigger fan base to go into Splatoon 3. Because why would they do that?
Now that makes sense to me.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Yes, Charles. At Christmas, Black Friday, around Black Friday, Christmas, Nintendo released Splatoon 2 controller and a digital copy of the game only for like a holiday sale.
Hmm.
So, and I said at the time, I don't know why they're doing this because they're not doing any updates to the game. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. That makes perfect sense now because they were trying to get the people who had never played Splatoon 2 into Splatoon 2 so that they could drop this trailer and have a whole new fan base going there along with the older ones.
Yo, I've been sitting up
Um,
here. I've been sitting up here, and I know I saw some comments based on this direct, and I can't remember where I saw it, but I was reading through some stuff, and people are like, "It's the same old Nintendo." You know what I'm saying? You're right. They talked about how they're done, and other people were trying to reassure them and remind them. People always complain, and they still stay with Nintendo. But it seems like to me, man, I hope this is not some nickel and diamond type thing, man, where Nintendo, it's just something off about Nintendo these days for me. And I know I don't
I
own.
mean,
That's why I don't own one of their consoles. I haven't owned one in a while, long time since the shit. which one, man. I didn't have any of the Wii's. My
GameCube,
son had a Wii. A
GameCube.
GameCube was the last one I bought.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So here's the sale page where you can pre-order Skyward Sword. Okay, and it's $59.99. Here's my thing. Okay, and I'm seeing like Nintendo channels doing things. I'm like, oh, Nintendo's gouging us, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Let's get something straight. Okay, you see this, right?
Yeah.
And you see how it says $60, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me find something else here that will blow your mind, and then we'll discuss it. Okay.
Yep.
Let me find it here because actually, Tronny and I was talking about this. The people who are complaining about that $60 price for Skyward Sword. And like I said, these are some bigger Nintendo channels than I am. Okay. But yet those same channels, let me find right here. You see this where it says Collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend?
Yep.
So you see how that's $20, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's a Game Boy game.
Whoa.
And some of the same people who are screaming that Skyward Sword for $60 is too much was hyping this up for $20.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to whether the consumers want to spend that money or not. It's gonna come down
and that's
to
the thing. That's exactly what I'm saying. Those same people who are crying that $60 is too much, I guarantee you, they're gonna be the first ones out there buying it day one.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? And it's this is just across all platforms. It seems to be
exactly.
It seems
exactly.
to be the trend,
I mean, even people are complaining that some other companies are bringing old games back like Diablo 2 and everything. They're only charging $40. My thing is, and this is me across the board with any platform, you have fans who are saying, oh, bring back virtual, like in the Nintendo sense, bring back virtual console. I want to buy my virtual console games. I want this. I want that. Bring back the Zeldas. Put all the Zeldas on the Switch. But then when Nintendo does it, you don't like the price that they're doing it at. My thing is, Nintendo is looking at it like this. I got to go back to a 10-year-old game, reconfigure all of the controls to match the controls now because we don't use the Wii mode anymore.
Yeah.
We got to bring it up to HD graphic standings for a 10-year-old game. You think we're going to do that and lose money?
Hell no, but I tell you a game that makes sense to me. This right here is Shadow of the Colossus. When the remake, when they did that remake, that's a hellified remake right there, right? $40, I would gladly pay that. Now I didn't buy it at the time at release, but I did catch it on sale. But I would have paid $40 for that damn game because they did a phenomenal job. So now, if it's on the level of a Shadow of the Colossus, I still don't think it should go higher than $40 unless they're about to jam pack it with additional.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like you remember when Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition came, and you remember people were crying about that one because they were like, well, we shouldn't be paying $60 for a 10-year-old game. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true. When new games are out.
Well, Nintendo added a whole new prequel storyline to it.
Okay.
They added a bunch of stuff to it, and then on top of that, if you have a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 save file on your Switch, you got bonus things when you put the game in.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm okay with you having to ask. You want to ask for games, and you want this, and you want that. But at the same time, if this company is doing it to make you happy, they got to get paid too. And the thing is if you want Nintendo to change, then you're going to have to stop buying their products. You're going to have to make it so that when this game comes out, it fails so hardcore And I mean, it's a catch-22. Well, if we don't buy it, Nintendo won't bring back the other games that were good. But on the flip side of it, if you buy it and sell it, and they sell it and see that they can get that $60, it's not going to bother them any.
So let me ask you this: so did all right? The Nintendo fans obviously stood up and made a statement when the Wii U dropped, right? When the Wii
What do
U
you?
dropped, it didn't say it still sold millions, but it didn't. I don't remember the fanfare being that hype and that great about the Wii U when it did drop. You know what I'm saying?
The hardcore bought the Wii U.
Right. But a lot of people said, "Hell no, I'm not getting this." Right? I'm
No, it
not gonna
wasn't
do it.
that. It was the fact of a lot of people were confused as to what the Wii U was. The marketing for it was not great. So
Oh,
people thought it was just an attachment to the Wii.
okay. I was just thinking because I can't see Nintendo fans making that type of a statement. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're saying right now, they're gonna want to be on those games. I heard people complaining about Breath of the Wild, but you know, Breath of the Wild did big numbers at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
that's
mean
why I
that.
thought of that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that actually goes into what's going on with Stadia and things.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it like this, right? It's the hardcore mostly who are crying about it.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the hardcore that's crying about it.
Now
But
you
you
mean
gotta think.
Stadia? You mean Stadia? They're crying about the hardcore is crying about Stadia.
No, 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 no. And with the Nintendo.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, the hardcore is the ones who's complaining about it. But you got to think about that basic Joe Schmo who never had a Wii, or the Joe Schmo who never played Nintendo, never played Legend of Zelda. You got to think about the new fans of Legend of Zelda who just started playing with Breath of the Wild. Okay? Those same people are not crying about the $60 price tag. They're happy that it's a new Zelda game that they never played.
Damn right. And Harry just said something that just I was thinking about it. I was definitely
Hmm.
thinking about it.
What did he say?
About the Nintendo guys and gals be glad the Switch games are $60, but when the Switch Pro games could cost 70, you know that seems to be a trend with other platforms now.
Hmm.
Um, I was definitely thinking that. So what the hell are they gonna do when they have to deal with these $70 games or whatever?
I don't know because, like I said, I don't know if you've ever. I don't know how many of you guys have ever been following me on Twitter or this, that, and the other. But I'm one who never complains about the prices of shit because I have the philosophy in life: if I don't like the price, then I'm just not going to buy it.
Yeah, I feel you. And
Okay.
Rome had shout out to Rome, man. Rome Rush did something about prices and stuff, and that was dope. And
Hmm.
Bunny, for me, I overpay for Madden every year to because I feel like that head start is advantageous or whatever when climbing the ranks and all that. Um, I overpaid for Call of Duty. I regret that shit because it's some janky stuff going on, man. Like, it just goes back to what you were saying, but that's a whole nother topic for another time. I'm not gonna get deep into it, but I'm having some issues with the Series X, and so are other people, man. The S
I
and the
mean,
X, right?
and we'll
But
talk
we'll
about
get
that
into that
too.
later at some point.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. Okay, people. There's two fan bases. There's the hardcore, and then the people who are just getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you right now, most people who are just getting into it because they never had a Wii or a Wii U or like you, who the last system they had was a GameCube, and they decided to buy a Switch and they fell in love with it. Okay, those people aren't going to cry about the $60 price tag because for them it's whatever. It's a new game for them.
Yeah.
Okay, same thing's going on in Stadia where not with pricing, but some people are upset about this SG and E thing.
Yep.
But I noticed somebody on Twitter, I want to say it was Seven, some guy named
Yeah.
Seven, I think.
7. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely.
Seven made a comment and tagged both you and Moss and
Mm-hmm.
is saying, you're absolutely right. You have to think outside of your own little bubble. And he
Right.
was talking about how his friends never who just got into Stadia to play Cyberpunk don't even know what S&E is. So it's for them, they don't care about that. They're
Right.
having fun with Stadia and they're still supporting Stadia.
Yep. And
That's
then
the
you got some like me and Moss who are like, we never touched one of those games yet. Shit, I could see if we played a Zelda equivalent or or God of War equivalent on Stadia, and then they snatched it away from us. Now I would
right.
have raised hell for that, but I never.
Exactly.
These games could have came on. They could have been some duds. We don't know, So because we don't
Exactly.
know, I'm not gonna sit there and cry. I'm gonna play what's coming and what's in front of me right now. What I got in my library.
Exactly. And that's the thing. So when we're up here talking and things, we got to think outside of our bubble. And I've always said that your situation is different than your gaming stance is different than somebody else's gaming stance. Okay. Because all of our paths into gaming has taken us on different courses.
Yeah.
My course in gaming has been completely different from yours because I can't play first person view games and you can.
Mm-hmm.
So your gaming library is totally different than what my gaming library is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you're right.
there's a few that cross over, but for a majority it's completely different. So when we're looking at like the people crying about the Nintendo pricing, those are the hardcore that's mostly crying because 9 times out of 10 they are collectors and they've already bought the game. And they have it on their old platforms. And for those people, I say if you don't like the price of it because you're a collector, then don't buy it. Everybody has a choice whether to buy it or not buy it. If you want Nintendo to change their pricing policies, then maybe you need to stop buying their stuff. Nintendo will listen the moment they stop getting money. Look at what they did with the Wii U. Look at how they've rolled back a lot of their policies because of the backlash and the lack of money they were getting.
Yeah.
Okay? When you speak with your wallet, these companies listen. All right. So that's what's going on with the direct. There's quite a few games in the direct that I'm getting, but I already know I'm passing on Skyward Sword. I played it on the Wii. I didn't like it. I'm not that much of a Zelda fan to where I have to have it again. Now the game you're seeing on the screen here though, it's called the Famicon Detective Club. The last time this game was on a platform was during the NES days, and it was only in Japan. So they have completely taken it out of the 8-bit stance and completely redid it for the Nintendo Switch.
Right.
Hmm. And
I
it's a
will
visual
say,
novel.
if they redid Ocarina of Time and they did it with updated textures and all that stuff, Bunny, I would definitely cop that. I might even cop a Switch just to play that again. Now that
But
there,
I mean, but see
or
that,
some of the Metroid Prime games or whatever, and others, Eternal
yeah, I
Darkness. You
mean,
bring those back, Bunny, I'm dropping 60 on them. And now,
and that goes back to what I'm saying. Everybody has a price of what they play value as.
mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody does. Look at my mom. My mom was up here telling me when before she ever got her Switch in Animal Crossing, she was like, I wouldn't be paying no $60 for no
I
damn
got it,
game.
Bunny. I got it, Bunny. Bunny, here it is. This is what these companies have to be thinking, and if they are, I'm not mad at them. Well, we're gonna drop Skyward Sword, but this is for Project Storm. This ain't for no damn Snow Bunny, and we know that. Bunny ain't gonna buy this shit, but Project Storm will. So we're gonna go after Project Storm. So if they're taking that
Exactly.
approach, then it is what it is. It just made me realize, and this is what
Hmm.
I keep trying to tell people: consumers, these companies are not making a move for every consumer. They're not making their moves for all consumers. If they are, they're doing it wrong, in my opinion. They have to be
Hmm.
crazy as hell to think that they're gonna get all gamers to play any given game. That's just not gonna happen.
Exactly. Like I said, it might not be for me, but guess what? They know there's somebody out there that it is for.
Right.
Okay, that's the thing that's the thing. A lot of these, and this is in all stances: Nintendo, PC, Xbox, Sony. The fanboys of it have to think on those lines. Not every game is made for you. And you need to get out of that little selfish ass little stance you're in thinking that every game is made for your taste and your qualifications because it isn't. Like that Game Boy game that was for $20 up there. You think I'm paying $20 for a 30-year-old game and you couldn't even put it in color?
I got to give you a round of applause on that one.
I mean, you see what I mean? For me, I wouldn't do it. But you have some of the same people who screaming that $60 for Skyward Sword were saying that showing of that Game Boy game was the best game shown during a direct.
Bunny, and some of them ain't gonna buy the damn game anyway. They just want to have something to say about it. You know what I'm saying?
Because no. A lot of people like to
get a lot of people like to get their way though, Bunny. A lot of people want to be heard and they want to get their way and shit like that. And that's how
they ain't gonna happen.
You know, they just been accustomed to that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how they are.
But that's the thing. So with all of us, I beg all of us when we're looking at something and it's just like you said, hey, that ain't, I know Snow Bunny ain't gonna buy that, but Project Storm will. That's how these companies take every one of these games. Okay, and I kind of think, like you were saying earlier, that people are upset with the X and the S. I kind of think that's part of the problem with the series with Microsoft right now. Do you want me to explain that, and we can segue into where
I want to talk about it for a couple minutes. I think it's worth it because shit, I'm heavily embedded. You know what I'm saying? And I invested in this thing. You know, and people, and I knew that there was issues, Bunny, right? And you said it. Beware, Storm. Be careful. I'm telling you, this shit just ain't the hardware and the software just ain't there yet. Now, anybody that, and now shout out to all the Xbox fans. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, I love Game Pass. I love my Series X, right? But I don't like the problems that come with the shit. And you know what? I'm proud of all the Xbox fans that called that shit out. You know what I'm saying? They called it out. They're tired of the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lay on my back and take it. You know what I'm saying? They just going, you know, so but what I've been noticing is a lot of freezing. Call of Duty, I can't even activate the 120 hertz mode no matter how hard I try. I heard you have to restart the system and all this shit. It's just not working. My controller's not syncing properly at times. Sometimes the games like Destiny 2 with the visual upgrades feel a little bit slug, like the controls feels too weighty. It's not light and accurate in 120 hertz mode, like say Rogue Company on the same system. So there's some issues there. Other people, I had a problem today where I joined the party, my whole damn system froze. I could hear people talking in the party, but I couldn't do shit with the guide or the menu or anything like that. I had to restart again. I had to do a hard reset. So it is some issues that need to be ironed up, and I hope they can iron these out. You know, that's my thing.
I mean, and this is going to sound odd when I say this, but, and this is going to sound really, really odd when I say this. I'm not even sure if it's only a Series X thing. Do you mean explain to you what I mean?
Go ahead.
Like, you know, I love Stardew Valley. You've seen the graphics of Stardew Valley, right? Do you realize, and like I said, when I'm playing offline where I don't even have like my friends on my farm or anything, because I don't play like that. It's just me and my farm.
Yep.
Do you realize that on my PlayStation 4, I get more freezes and glitches than I do on my Switch? So I don't know if, and I'm thinking, I can't understand.
It comes down to quality assurance and stuff. Is it happening, Bunny? Are they checking for quality assurance like they should be doing with these games and shit?
I mean, and it's not only that, because like the thing is, I can understand something
and the hardware.
I can understand, you know, a super graphically intense game where it's like super high graphics, this, that, and the other. I can understand, you know, the Switch running worse than the PlayStation 4. And that's how I look at some games. Like, I don't look at like the power of the system and everything. I look at the graphics of the games, because those graphics draw on that power of the console. If it's a highly graphical, extremely where you look at somebody's face and you can see the tears running down their face, I can understand that causing some glitches, tears, this, that, and the other in the console system. But in some games that's not that graphically intense, how the hell is it I'm having freezes and glitches on my PlayStation, but not my Switch, with the Switch being the weaker of the consoles?
I don't know, but it's not good. And it was happening at launch. I remember people like Moss and other people saying that, hey man, I'm having issues with this PS5. They were ready to return their shit, Solid Rev, and everybody,
And that's
who
with the PS5. And like I said, I'm
yeah.
on the 4.
But I can
Okay.
understand that because of the pandemic, but we can't, like, months have gone by now. Like, are they able to push out these updates and enhancements,
Now,
Bunny, that
see,
would
here's
prevent
the
this shit? I
thing.
want to play my games in 120 hertz. That's what I was talking about. And I haven't been able to do that yet on Call of Duty. And I know my performance has been suffering because I could jump on other games at 120, like Destiny's Crucible and Rogue Company, like I mentioned, Rainbow Six Siege. And I could play those games well. They feel great. They feel like 120 hertz is supposed to feel.
I mean, and the thing is I don't. Here's the thing, and this is something I said.
My bad. And then ray tracing crashes the hell out of Call of Duty Black Ops for me. I don't know if that's the case for
Now,
others who have the game, but it crashes the hell out of the game. I'm talking about locks up my Series X and I have to restart the shit.
I mean, this is something that I had mentioned before. People want PC settings in these consoles. When
Yeah.
you shrink those PC settings down to consoles, you got to sacrifice something.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting all that you want in a high-end PC in that console because of space factor. You don't have room.
And CPU speed because they're the budget. They cannot go outside of that budget or they're gonna lose tons of money.
Exactly. And that's the one thing, like what we were just talking about, like with like Microsoft and the Series X and everything. Microsoft, like, you remember how when I was looking at getting my console, like my PlayStation 4, you was like, well, why didn't you go with Xbox? Well, the types of games I play, Xbox is not on Xbox. And that's part of the reason I think that's part of the reason why Microsoft is doing like a little worse right now. Because the two consoles that offer the types of games I'm playing are just slaying it. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
They're slaying it, but I think Microsoft is going too much based off of the hardcore fans. Oh, we won't play this. We don't want this. We don't want that. And they're losing a lot of the casuals.
And Bunny, now that you mention that, it's so. How many times have you heard me and others say this is going to be the year? 2021 is going to be the year. I shout out to Dirt Griggity. I just stopped by and checked out
what's
a video.
up?
No, he ain't in the chat. I'm just saying I stopped by and checked out a video, right? That he made about 2021 and everything. And that's how I really feel. But I've been slapped in the face a few times. So I'm like, damn, I gotta take it with a grain of salt. Is this really about to be the year or is some janky shit about to happen? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and that's the thing. Like when I was looking at future proofing my purchase, I was looking at all the games that were coming out like in this first 3 months of the year.
Right.
Do you realize Yeez 9 did not come to Xbox? Harvest Moon did not come to Xbox. Persona 5 Strikers did not come to Xbox. Those are 3 games I'm getting. I have gotten or getting.
Yeah.
So that's 3 games that, for me as a consumer, there's no reason for me to get an Xbox.
Yeah.
How many?
Now, go ahead. Finish your point. But I got something to say right after that.
I was going to say, how many more gamers are like that?
Yo, I think it's time for all of us to unite when it comes to the bullshit, like, and just call it like it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be real. At some point, we gotta be real. We gotta stop throwing stones out of our glass houses and realize that our shit is made of glass too. You know what I mean? And other people's glass houses. You know what I mean? So we gotta start saying, yo, man, hey, y'all have these issues with y'all controller. Well, shit, we having the same issues over here. Let's get together, man. Let's get a petition going or something, man. We tired of this shit.
And I mean, like you want to hear what's the craziest thing is?
Ride at.
Huh?
Yes, I was gonna say it don't matter where you ride at, which platform.
Exactly.
Stuff, this is about making these games and shit better because for decades now, or at least the last 6 to 10 years. We've been having some issues, and we've been getting titles like Fallout 76 and Madden 21
Mm-hmm.
and other games that's been broken as hell, man. Like at some point, we got to do something about
I
it. And people have
mean,
been speaking up, Bunny. That's why I'm saying it. They have been. I'm proud of the people that's been speaking up
yeah,
across
and
remote,
people
whatever
have been
platform.
speaking up, but the thing is like right now, Sony is getting hit with Joy-Con drift issues, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, not Joy-Con drift, but stick
Kill.
drift even.
Yeah,
All
yeah. I
right.
hear.
So the thing is my thing is all these people who were jumping on Nintendo's ass about it, talking about, well, you just make cheap shit, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's this same? I see them same people saying, "Oh, well, people don't take care of their stuff. That's the reason their controllers are this, that, and the other."
Right.
Now, I don't know if you watched. There's a guy, I believe his name is Tronic Fix. He's on YouTube. He fixes game consoles.
I
He
saw him like he gets them on the low and then fixes them install.
well that
Because I know some people. Yeah, I know
yeah
some people are
he
buying them as like cheap as hell, and then they bring them back together.
right. Well, he bought 8 PlayStation 5 DualSense controllers that
Damn,
were broken. 8 off of
damn.
eBay. Okay? And there's a video show where he takes them apart, sees what's going on. One of the ones that had drift issues, he had to take it apart all the way down to the stick, right?
Right.
And then he figured out which way it was drifting, and there's a little modular on that stick that he had to take off. Okay? Now, none of the controller had water damage,
Right.
but this one little component was corroded. How the hell is just this one little component corroded and nothing else was damaged? That had to have been something from the factory.
Well, I know one thing, Project my homie Project Kill, you know what I'm saying? I'm a part of a clan, I keep saying, or
Mm-hmm.
it's a group now of, it used to be a big ass clan, but we're still a
Mm-hmm.
group of us that's still getting in on these games and everything. And I know Kill in real life. He was in the party today, and when we had these issues, in fact, he had issues where his Series X would lock the fuck up, and then he had to
Mm-hmm.
call Microsoft and get it resolved. So these are just the things that we're talking about, but I don't. You have to imagine that they're rushing these products to market. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
Oh
rushing them
yeah.
out. They got to meet these deadlines, and we're seeing shit like this and Cyberpunk and all of this stuff that happens. And Activision when Bungie was under them and everything. So it's kind of like, I guess, do we have to accept these are the times? Is what I'm asking you, Bunny. Or do we
I
have to
mean,
accept
here's
that
the
these are just the
thing.
times?
Here's the thing. It goes back to us as a gamer. Okay? The moment the cyberpunk shit came out, each and every one of us, and it goes back to these influencers. It boils down to them too. Okay? They knew this shit was janky, but they were lying about it. Because they were so worried about not being able to get other products from these companies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like there's one YouTuber, I can't remember his name. He said that he was not releasing his review of Cyberpunk because City Project Red did not want him to use his gameplay footage. And he said this is too critical for me not to use my own gameplay footage. So he said I'm waiting a couple weeks to do my own review of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, these people are they're named influencers for a reason. Okay, something was janky with the shit, but they said the shit was perfectly fine.
Right.
Okay, they didn't realize that no console editions got released. That should have been the number one flag right there. If every reviewer that day, the day before that game released, right? If every reviewer was talking about they played it on PC, and I don't have a PC, you should have known right then something was wrong. Okay.
Yep.
The players, okay, when this game released, and this boils down to us, when this game released, okay, look at how many platforms you bought it on to get the best playing version of it, and it was still fucking janky.
I get you. I
Okay.
get you. I get you.
When people started coming out and saying, "Hey, this shit's janky," each and every one of us, like the community was split. The ones like, "Well, the issues aren't as bad as this, that, and the other." No, they're going to listen to you. They're not going to listen to the ones who are complaining about the issues. They're going to listen to the people who say, "Oh, well, we don't have that many issues with the game." We as gamers have to band together and say enough is enough. And like I said, these companies are never going to change until we as gamers change and expect better of them. Like the Skyward Sword. All these people are complaining about the price and how it's a port and this, that, and the other. But I guarantee you, they're going to be they're going to go out day one and buy it. They're not going to say, like me, I'm not buying it. Straight up, I am not buying that game. I know some more people who said they're not buying the game. Okay, Nintendo wants to do this, go ahead. But I can tell you right now, there's fewer of us than it is of the people who's going to buy it. So we're a vocal minority. And that's an issue. Everybody knows how janky Madden is, right?
Yep.
Every year gets jankier and jankier, and you complain that I'm never buying Madden again. This is the worst Madden ever. This, that, and the other. Then next year you done
That is
forgot
true.
everything you said, and you're buying that Madden.
Nah, you don't forget it. You just know that you want to play when the real season starts. You want to be on football, and that Madden is the only game. So
But
all that shit you talked about, the fact that you're not gonna buy it, now you're looking stupid. Now you got to try and justify a reason to get it next year. So what I say
okay,
is, now 2K, that's different. I ain't fucking with 2K. I haven't bought. Actually, I'm lying. I haven't bought them brand new, but I buy them on sale when they're dirt ass cheap. I'm talking about, and I still don't
okay.
play them when I do buy them. You
But my
know,
thing is like me. Look at me. I have not bought an EA game. I think the last EA game I bought was Alice Madness Returns, and that released in 2010.
right?
That was the last game I bought from EA because I got tired of their bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I don't care what game comes out. That Star Wars single player game came out. It looks awesome as this. Oh, it's fucking EA. I ain't buying that shit. Okay? You say that it's this and you say that it's that. Like, look at what happened with EA. You saw how bad was it Battlefront 2 Star Wars failed and people didn't buy it? And people put their foot down and didn't buy it. What does EA do? EA, the king of saying single player games are dead and haven't done a single player game since probably 2013, is up here making a single player Star Wars game because
Yeah.
of how bad it sold and how upset the fans were. Okay?
And I
That's
actually
what I'm
like the
saying.
damn Star Wars Battlefront too. I like that one.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was Battlefront 2 or which one it was that caused all the drama with loot boxes and stuff.
Yeah, it was Star Wars Battlefront 2 for sure.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. But, everybody complaining about Madden and complaining about FIFA. But every year people are buying millions of
Same
copies
thing
of
for
it.
Battlefield Bunny.
Hmm.
Battlefield 5. They're
Well, yeah.
saying now that 6, they're promising that 6 is gonna be that real
Oh, well,
Battlefield.
yeah. I mean, the thing is like the people who were crying about some women wasn't in World War II, you don't know shit about World War II. One of the biggest spies who spied in France to get the Allied soldiers out of occupied France was a woman, and she was actually an amputee.
Mm,
Okay?
yeah.
So you got to look into history. They actually have found that the allies and stuff in occupied nations were using people had gotten knitters, women, little old women who knit, and taught them a code with the knitting to get shit out. Like they would knit up scarves and stuff, and when they were noticing things, they were doing different things in the stitch pattern, and then like they were giving the scarves away to people and stuff. And those people were smuggling those messages out of those occupied countries.
Damn,
Who's
that's smart.
who's
That's
gonna
smart as
who's
hell.
who's gonna notice a little old lady sitting there
Right.
knitting?
Right.
And when she would see a force come by at a certain time of the day, she would change the knit pattern for one stitch. And they had encrypted messengers who would, like, they would get the knitted items. And then they would, like, one lady, she was knitting and she was putting it in there. But below her house, in her house, she was on the top floor looking out.
Yeah.
Well, downstairs was her kids and stuff studying, and they had taught her kids when she did certain patterns with hitting the floor, they knew what to write in their schoolwork so not to alert the guard who was there that they were taking messages.
Wow.
So the people who were screaming about women in battle in World War II and in battlefield, you need to learn your history. Now, and the lady, like I said, some of them were amputees, but they weren't biomechanic amputees like they had in Battlefield. So I can understand that part of it. But when that CEO of Battlefield 5 came out and said, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it, guess what happened? People were like, F you, I'm not buying it. So that's the reason Battlefield 6, people spoke with their wallets and their voices, and now Battlefield 6 is going to be a better game.
I hope so, because I like all the damn Battlefields. You know what I'm saying? I just like
Yeah.
the way they feel, the way they look, the destruction, and all that shit. So
I mean, that's the thing. When you get angry enough about it, then yeah, and then you stop supporting it, then yeah, they're going to listen to you. Okay? And people tell me, well, Nintendo's outpricing themselves. You're still going to sell 10 million copies of the game. You know what I mean?
yep.
So you're complaining about it, but you already know people were going to buy it. That's like when people were complaining about The Last of Us 2, who weren't having, because it didn't have multiplayer at launch, and it still doesn't have multiplayer. But they were crying about how it didn't have multiplayer at launch and how they were missing out on part of the game and that it was an incomplete game. And then when I asked, well, why are you buying, why are you complaining about it? I mean, no, why are you buying it? Then don't you not buy it? Oh, well, I'm not missing the biggest game of the year. Then don't sit here and fucking complain about it.
Yeah. Hey, Harry
Don't.
said. Harry
Hmm?
said the influencers didn't want the game developers blacklisting. They got free stuff or whatever.
Exactly, and a
Mm,
lot of influencers do that because they're worried about being blacklisted. That's the
blacklisting them
reason
for free
I
stuff.
already know. My channel, I already know. I'm not going to get free codes, free copies. I'm not going to get free shit from these developers because I'm going to tell you if the shit, I'm going to say this is some straight up garbage.
Yeah. I mean, some of the games that people think are garbage too, Bunny. Like I like Fishing Planet and other games, man.
I still got to
Kill.
try that one. I
Yeah,
still got to
Wrong
try
Yeezy.
that one.
Hey, yeah, if you, I mean, but you got to be a certain type of gamer. You got to like fishing in real life, and you got to really, it's one of those games where it relaxes the hell out of you, right?
But let me
But
ask you
also it's a
this.
good ass experience when you battle on these big ass fish and stuff.
But here's the thing, like you remember how we were talking about Belon Wonder World, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
how bad I thought it was. Do you realize people have messaged me on Twitter say you were right? That's some straight shit. So that's the thing. I already know, hey, this is my opinion, but this game is garbage.
right.
Okay. But I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat shit and tell people that there's no bugs and shit in a game. And that's the problem with Cyberpunk. People didn't want to tell that it was buggy as hell. And then all the influencers are like, well, I didn't realize that there was no console versions going out. Well, if you play mostly on one console and you got to, like, if you're mostly a PlayStation channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to send you a code for PC and not PlayStation, wouldn't you think something's odd with that?
Yeah. But let me ask you this though: do you think that those people even played enough of the damn game? Because Bunny, now we know that these reviewers and shit have been getting caught red-handed, not playing the hell out of the game, not playing enough of the game to even give a thorough review. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but here's the thing also, okay? Here's the thing also you got to think about. As janky as Cyberpunk was, you started seeing bugs within the first 2 hours of the game.
Well, I didn't really see too many until, and I'm telling you, it was minimal for me. It was like, yeah, you saw
But
something floating. You
you
saw
were
like a
playing.
floating item in the game world. For me, that's all I was really seeing. I didn't really see major,
But
and I only
see,
played like a few hours of gameplay or whatever. But
you were playing one of the best versions of the
yeah,
game,
that's true. I was on PC, and I had
and
Stadia, which was the second best at the time.
exactly, and not all PC was best because you got a beefy system, you got a beefy rig. For the
Yeah,
people who didn't have a beefy rig, they were seeing some straight shit.
yeah. Obviously, with the consoles, that's for damn sure. With the base consoles or whatever. I mean, hey, it is what it is, but I guess it's getting better now, Bunny. I mean, PS5, I saw something that the PS5 version is now making strides, and the Series X version.
You may be straight honest with you. I stopped
What up?
following Cyberpunk a month ago.
I can't lie to you. I don't I just wait for the updates, and when I do want to play the game, I'll jump on it and then I'll see if anything improved. That's what I do with these games. And it's sad because I still dropped that $60, $120 because I bought it on Stadia and PC.
Hmm. And
Um,
and see, and that's the thing that I feel like you shouldn't have to do. You shouldn't have to buy multiple versions of a game to try to get the best playing version of it.
Yo, Kenny was just saying that shit yesterday. I gotta call it out. You know what I'm saying? He was saying that
Okay.
yesterday. How the only time you can see shit making sense like that is when he feels that all the games should have crossplay support, and the only time that you should rebuy this game is basically when shit something like I forgot what he said, but anyway, it made sense.
Yeah, like for
Made sense.
me, like I straight up flat admit, okay. I have a game on my Switch called Kissed by the Baddest Bidder. I first bought it on Apple iOS,
Hmm.
okay? But I love the game so much that when it came to Switch, it was a day one purchase for me.
Right.
Okay. So that's one game I double dipped on. And actually, that company has bought a lot of their mobile games to Switch, and I just buy them straight on Switch because the value is better than playing them on iOS. Okay. Next game that I have double dipped on. I double dipped on The Sinking City. Okay. I
Hmm.
have it on my Switch. I never even played the game, but I have it on my Switch and I have it on my PlayStation 4. The reason is not because I want the best graphical thing of it. It's just that right now the only way to play it on PS4 is physically because they have it all. It's not on the eShop. I mean, it's not on the PlayStation Store right now due to legal reasons. So I have a sealed copy of it, and it might become like a collector's item. And then the third game that I double dipped on is Stardew Valley. And it's not because I wanted to play the best version of it. It's just that I love the bloody game. I have different save files for it on my PlayStation 4 and I have different islands on my Switch. There's a ton of characters I can marry. Every one of my save files, I'm working on marrying a different character on both platforms.
Yeah.
So there's those reasons I understand why you might double dip and buy a game. But the fact that you have to double dip to buy a game to get the best playing version of that game, something's wrong there.
I just bought it. I double dipped because I wanted to play it on two different platforms. Like it would be hard for me to have it on PC and not be able to play it on Stadia. You know what I'm saying? When Stadia is a platform that, I'm happy that a game like Cyberpunk released in the first damn place. You know what I'm saying? So I supported that. And it comes down to what you said and what Rome said. It's like, hey man, pretty much you decide when a game is not worth it or if it is worth that whatever price that they're charging. So it's crazy.
I gotta log into something and get a free pet. But so yeah, that's that. So those are some issues going on with Microsoft. We have some things going on with Nintendo.
Have some things going on with
Everything.
Sony,
Yeah, everything. Something's going on with everything.
with
But
Stadia.
we need to, before we get out here and start like attacking other people, and it's just like you said, you need to realize you're living in a fucking glass house, and everybody's living in the same glass
Absolutely.
house.
Absolutely.
And
And
just
you got to
because
be
you're
mindful of what the hell you say out your mouth or with your fingers. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mindful of it.
exactly, because the same things that's happening in that glass house, trust me, it could easily come into your own glass house. And those are things you have to think about, you know. So let's move on to the more fun and less depressing subjects, okay?
Let's get it.
What have you been playing this week?
Oh, been playing a whole lot of just every damn thing. Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War. I mentioned that. Been
When
playing
you're
a lot
not crashing, right?
when I'm not. Well, it does only crashes with ray tracing on. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to bring that up because I remember you telling me, and I keep it real, Bunny. I have to keep it real. I don't hide from that shit. You know what I'm saying? If you were right
Mhm.
about something, I got to put it out there. And you were
Mhm.
right once again. I mean, but the game overall performs well, very well. It's fun to play. I get tired of running around the same fucking maps all the time. I need these developers to please listen. If you have to make your maps a little bit smaller sometimes, or a little bit little less graphically and intense or something, to sacrifice to put out like a few more maps. I'm talking about at launch. I would love to have a game with 20 or 30 maps in rotation, man. I get tired of seeing the same damn maps, Bunny, over and over and over, and it just makes you sick. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I
that's I
it's
will.
like now they know the map so well they camping in the spots, or change the maps up, change the gameplay up where a bot or something flies through the damn map, and if you camping for more than 5 seconds, they're gonna light your ass up, something like that, man. Because I get tired of these campers that just want to call out the streaks on Call of Duty, so they sit in corners and hide in dark spots that they know they could take advantage of people and shit. Because most people don't adjust their brightness, but then when you turn your brightness all the way up, it makes the game look all washed out. You see what I'm saying? So I hate
Yeah.
that shit. I hate that with a passion. But other than
Now,
that,
see,
the game was all right. Game was cool.
that's the one thing. Like, you know how we have Nintendo has the stupid online app for like multiplayer, this, that, and the other, right? For voice chat, right?
Right.
I will tell you one thing that I absolutely love that. I only use the phone app for mainly one thing.
Hmm.
That's Splatoon. Okay.
I love
And
The Destiny item manager, man. I love that app. That shit is dope.
well, why I use the Splatoon app in the Nintendo Online, it's not for multiplayer chat. First off, it comes with some items that you can purchase only on the app and receive them in game.
Uh-huh.
And it's not like you use real world money, it's you use the currency of what you gather in the game.
Like Halo and other games. Yeah,
Right.
Rainbow. Yep.
Okay. Next thing is remember how I was telling you the maps rotate every 2 hours,
Hmm.
and with and with ranked and league, the format changes every 2 hours also. So for
Yeah.
2 hours you might have tower control. For another 2 hours you might have splat zones. What I like about the app is I can log into the app and see what map is being used on what format. So, like, if I'm playing Turf War, it might be one map. Ranked might be a different map. It will be a different map in a different format. Like, I like splat zones and I like tower control.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not overly fond of Rainmaker. Okay. That's another multiplayer. That's a ranked zone.
Yeah.
So I can log into into the app, okay, and see what zone is being played and what format is being played. So, like, if I want to jump into Splatoon 2 and I look on the app and it says, oh, it's Rainmaker, I don't want to do Rainmaker. So I'll just wait and they'll tell you what the next zone or the next format is coming up in the next 2 hours are. So that's one thing. Like, I wish, like for people like you who get tired of the same map, same this, same that, right? Put two maps in, give you an app or something so you can see what maps are being played. Because you know what that also tells the developers?
What's that?
If a lot of people not loading in when this map is being played, then evidently there's something wrong with the map that people don't like.
You know what? I would like a smart system where the map level design changes and shit. You know what I'm
You
saying? Like
mean
I would
like
like
you
that.
mean like how like Dead Zones do, and how like the see Dead Cells and Stardew Valley and I even want to say Hades. I'm not positive about Hades though.
Hmm.
But Dead Cells, every time you load into a zone, the zone is different. In
Wow.
Stardew Valley, every time I go into the mines, it's a randomly generated mine. No
Oh,
two
see,
mines will ever be
see,
alike.
I like
So,
that.
so basically, what you're saying is you wish they did a randomly generated map
Yeah, yep, I
every
would love
time
it.
you logged in to
I would
play a
love it.
game.
Then I'm okay with 6 maps, as a starting point, or 6 to 10 maps as a starting point, or whatever. I'm okay with that because
Well,
now I
see,
know
that's the thing.
now
That's the
you
thing.
can't catch a real rhythm. So it's like if you're a sniper, you might have your line of sight blocked this time. That shit, you
Hmm.
might have spent like 30 hours of gameplay time just trying to find the perfect snipe spot. And you just
Uh
been
huh.
picking people off and shit, building up your streaks and all that score
And
streaks.
then when you play the map of next time, it's totally
Yeah.
different.
Yep. Now
Like
you
that's
got
what happened.
trees in your way and shit. The line of sight, man, it's different.
Or the
I love it.
building may be gone that you were using.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's a
Yeah.
rare. So you would want a. You would probably love like Dead Cells. What makes some it's so popular with people, and like I said, I want to say Hades is like this also. But every time, like you know how you die in the game, right?
Hmm.
And you have to restart over. Well, every time you die and restart over, the map is a whole new map. So you can't memorize where everything is.
I love it.
So yeah, random and like in Stardew Valley, every time I go into the mines, every time I go in, like let's say I go to level one and replay level one. Every time I replay level one, it's a different map.
Now, when you gotta be careful when you say every time, do you mean every time, or
I've been
like,
playing the
e-
game on my Switch over 300 and some hours, and I've never had my every
dang,
time I go and play a zone, like if I go into the mines,
yeah,
I might see the same map, but it might not be on the level that I'm on. And all the items on that zone is randomly generated. So it might not be the same rocks. It might not be the same amount of monsters. The ladder to go down to the next level is always in a different spot. It's a randomly generated map every time you go in.
hmm, okay,
Yeah. So if they did that in a multiplayer shooter game, that would be so awesome. It would make other people who love to camp and snipe and things, it would make them mad as hell. But for people like you who are bored with the same map every
yeah,
single
man, and
solitary
I
time.
and my play style, like you're punishing my play style as a gunner. Like I like to run and gun, but a sniper could sit there and just pluck people off from distance and we might not have that weapon unlocked yet that he's using. You know what I'm saying? He just plucking
Mhm.
people off when they turn the corner. Boom, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
One hitting people. Like that's not cool. That doesn't make for a fun experience all the time. And I'm not playing
Right.
complaining about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get good.
Mhm.
But anybody who's played
And
Call of
it's
Duty,
not
it'll
even
piss you off. It'll piss you off sometimes.
and it's not even like getting good. Like the one thing about Splatoon, right? When you go into turf war, rank don't matter. The only thing it might matter for is the type of weapons you use, right?
Hmm.
Because as you rank up, you can purchase different and different types of weapons, right?
Yep.
But Splatoon, and you can have different armor, and you might have modded your armor. Let's say you're S rank, you might have modded your armor to do this, but it's luck based. Somebody get that right nice shot, boom, you're dead. So like that's the one reason I love Splatoon is I can go into Splatoon. I was rank one playing with people who were rank 99 and it didn't matter. I could still kill them very easily. Or they could kill me very easily. And it didn't go to the weapon. It was just it's based on skill play.
Yeah, we got a couple new people in the chat. I don't know if you want to say hi to them right now. It'll be a
Let's
good
see
intermission.
here who we have. Hello, Uncompetitive. How are you? Hello, Stadia Pro. How you doing today? Wrong Yeezy. What's up? What's up?
Easy.
Cyber Dragon. Hey, Cyber Dragon. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Uh, I did not watch BlizzCon, Charles. They are. I saw something where they're putting a arcade collection on the Switch. but I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Amanor in the building. What's going on?
Yeah,
Hey, Charles keeps talking about this ant stream, Bunny. Have you heard of ant stream? Because people have caught wind of it and they seem to be enjoying it. They're able to play these old classic arcade games free to play now, I think. Um,
no, because I no.
like he just said earlier, he played Mario 64 and Mario whatever. I want to
Hmm.
check it out to see
No,
exactly what they
I
have in the
don't.
library.
I mean, come on now. You forget I'm a person who very rarely goes back and play those games,
I understand.
unless it's like, what's that game that I used to love? Galaga. Is that the
Yeah,
shooting
Galaga.
one?
Galaga was yeah, that was
Yeah,
cool.
I
That was
used to
cool.
like playing that, but I hardly ever go back and play like a lot of older games, like arcade games.
Yeah, me either, but
I don't even own an arcade collection. Now that I think about it, thinking about through my Switch games and my PS4 games, I don't even own an arcade collection.
you telling
So
me you wouldn't go back and play a older Super Mario game is what you that's what you trying to tell me, like Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario,
I
all
have
that.
an option to play that on the Switch, and I
Oh
don't
yeah, you
now.
do. That's a good point.
Mhm. And I
All right,
don't.
whatever.
But so what I've been playing, and Harry, you see Harry in the chat here
Yep.
talking.
Yep.
Harry turned me on to an MMO on the PlayStation 4 that is a uh, free to play MMO called Caravan Stories. I downloaded it and started playing it, but I haven't gone back to it yet. It's actually a very fun game. I just got to make sure that, because I'm very, very particular about my battle systems.
Mm-hmm.
Some games I like battle systems, they're battle systems. Some games I don't. I haven't played this game enough to see if I like the battle system, but the art style of it is very, very beautiful. It's like a hand drawn watercolor system.
Yeah.
Right now I'm playing an elf, and it's multiplayer and things like that, but I still think I'm too low because I'm like level 6 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And before I get to like the multiplayer hub where you can play with other people, I'm still in like the very, very beginning setting up stages. But Harry, he's a huge fan of the game. He loves the game. He's been playing it for a while. If anybody wants to try Caravan Stories, it's free to play on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I'm not sure if it's on any other platforms. I know it's not on the Switch. Um, and you guys have questions, Harry in the chat, he's on the same name he is in chat. He is also on Twitter with Harry Tron. If you have questions, ask him. He's like the number one person I go to when I have questions. And I'm going to be going to
That's
when I
what's
have
up.
questions. But it's a very fun game. So far, I'm still in the beginning stages. I'm not sure if I like the elf. It might be magic. I'm not sure if I like it because the elf is a magic character. It's like what race you play depends on what type of weapon you have. And like the elf is magic. So I'm not sure if I like that or if I want to, I might go and try as a human to see if I like the sword and shield better, but I got to see if I like the combat style. But it's a very, very fun game so far.
That's dope. Now you asked me what I was playing. What have you been on?
The Caravan Stories, and then Stardew Valley had a new update, the 1.5 update that was on PC. It has come to consoles.
Mm-hmm.
So it added a new map, a new farm type that we can get, and it added some quality of life changes for some people. So far, it's pretty fun. I started a new farm. I got me a new farm going. On my PlayStation 4, I have not started a new farm yet on my Switch because I'm going to go back and forth between the two based on where I'm playing at and things like that. So I was playing that. I have not logged into Monster Hunter World this week. Might log into it next week, but it all depends on how work's going. And
Let me
that's
ask,
pretty much it.
let me ask you something. I want to touch on this. You know what I'm saying? I know
Mhm.
we had it kind of like in the show. Um, for the entitled gamers, the gamers who are out here, just like they want to see Nintendo die. They want to see PlayStation die. They want to see Stadia die. They want to see PC die. They don't
I
care
don't
if
classify them as
PlayStation.
entitled gamers.
Well, I'm talking about entitled ones. Like I want what I want, and it
No,
is
no, no,
what
no.
you
That I mean, there's a difference. The
All right,
ones who say
break it
I
down.
want. Like you know how
I
you
want
look
what I
in it.
want. I'm entitled to this, and you know what I'm
Well,
saying.
no, like you
I'm
look
mixing
at
it up. All
Nintendo.
right, you got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and school me. Go ahead.
You looking at Nintendo and you like, I want 4K graphics, I want this, I want that, I want this. But yet you're not sitting here saying Nintendo needs to die. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
People up here looking at Stadia. They got that class action lawsuit because people wanted 4K 60. Stadia promised us 4K 60. Blasey, blasey, blasey. We want our 4K 60. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But on the flip side, they're not saying Stadia needs to die.
Right.
There is a fine line between entitled gamers and selfish gamers. I find the selfish gamers are the ones saying that, oh, Xbox is the best box, PlayStation needs to die.
Yep.
Do you see what I
Do you
mean?
think? And my point with all this, and I hope you can answer it, is: do you think they really want these other platforms to die? Like, really? Some of
Some
them,
of them,
or
I'm going to be straight honest with you. Some of them are not wrapped too tightly. And when I say not wrapped too tightly, I mean they're missing an entire Happy Meal out of the Happy Meal box.
I hear you.
Um, some of them are really blinded. I mean, like, you know how you say people have tunnel vision with
Yep.
horse blinders on and they can only
Yep.
see straight ahead? No, 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 no. Some people are fully blinded and the only thing they see is their platform of choice.
Right.
And those people, I'm gonna be straight honest with you. Something's wrong with them folks. And I've seen some tweets of people, and they are obsessed with the competition. Like there's one guy on Twitter, I don't even remember his name, but I'm not promoting him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of the stuff he says. He calls out Xbox. Hey, Xbox, you need to buy this so Sony won't get it. Hey, Xbox, you need to do this so Sony won't get it. He has such a fixation on Sony not getting something that his fanboy, he's gone beyond fanboyism.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's personal.
It's a personal, deep-seated something in his brain that snapped.
You know what it is? Being wrong, being defeated. You know what I mean? And having people laugh and dance at the shit in your face. Yeah, y'all ain't got no games, or y'all didn't get this, or your exclusive got delayed. It's like what ammo am I gonna be able to get next? That's what empowers them. You know
but it's not only that. Something, like I said, something has gotten into their heads where it's a fixation for them, and that's the unhealthy part. Like if Sony or Nintendo or Microsoft was a physical person, these people are so fixated on them, they would go and shoot that person.
Damn.
I mean, do you see what
that's
I
true?
mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you see what I'm saying?
And that does come to the mental health side of things. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So, something is wrong with these people out here, and it's not only like you. There's a thing of there's a fanboy, but then there's somebody, I don't even know what to call them beyond fanboyism, who is completely and utterly obsessed with it.
And that's why I try to be. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. That's why I'm always trying to be careful with my words, because I realize there's no in the field that I work in. You know what I'm saying? I know we deal with it straight up. Like shit gets real. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like these are the people that have access to social media as well now, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and their voice should be heard. You know what I'm saying? Now,
I'm gonna be honest with
I'm
you.
good, Bunny, because I know that these type of people exist. But when at certain times when people try to come at your neck, you know what I'm saying, on a personal level, and they try to embarrass you, or they try to, belittle you and what you stand for and all that shit, that's when the line gets drawn.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like I have seen fanboy, shit gone so crazy to where it brought in other person's family. And when it brought in the other person's family, that person just snapped and went off and was saying stuff that normally wouldn't say at all. He just went off. And then the person who caused him to go off like that went and started running being the victim. Oh, he said racial stuff to me. He said this. He said that to me. Yeah, you might have said all of that, but you brought his family into it.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
a sore point that he brought into it. I'll tell you the story off air because I don't want to bring it back
Right,
up,
I got
but
it. No, I got it.
it was a sore point that he brought up. And that's the reason this guy just snapped.
I get it.
But then the guy who did it ran and was like being a victim and then drew all these other people in the gaming community into it being a victim with and that's another thing. When somebody runs to you and says, "Oh, well, this person said this person said that." Let me tell you something about life. Every time somebody tells you something, there's three sides to every story. There's their side, the other person's side, and the truth. And you need to hear that person's side, the other person's side, so you can determine what the truth is. Um, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know Amanor. He wants Stadia dead. Now Amanor jokes around. Now and of course I understand. I understand what he's saying. Like it's death to Stadia. And this right here is not Bunny. This is not to defend Stadia, but some of that stuff that comes with you know. eh, First of all, I have never seen anybody want anything dead as much as Stadia. You know what I'm saying? Now I see some hellified console wars and all that, Bunny. You know
But
what I
I'm gonna be
mean?
honest with you. You
But
want to know? Okay,
I want to
okay.
ask you, have you ever seen in your history of living and gaming, have you ever seen anything as hated on? Has Nintendo ever been close to being this hated on, Bunny? I'm talking about, think about it now. You got to think about it before you respond because I want to know what gets these people off. I really do. And I haven't heard your perspective on it this week, so I would like to hear that.
And that's what I'm going to tell you. Here's the thing about the hatred on Stadia. I feel that the hatred on Stadia is because of Stadia can actually succeed. And the naysayers who were speaking negatively about Stadia is getting egg in their face.
Mm.
And the same ones who were these great big and a lot of them are great big influencers, media outlets, this, that, and the other. They're getting egg on their face because it's actually working better than they anticipated. And they're trying to get it shut up and covered up so that they won't look like they have egg on their face.
Is anything wrong with these people, Snow Bunny?
The thing for them is it's all about the money. If they lose face, they lose their paycheck. Think about it like that. Look at the shitstorm around DF right now.
Yeah.
When King Thrash called their asses out last year and shit, and people realized what he said was true. Now he called them out either last year or the year before, but when they realized the shit he said was true, the shit blew up. Fucking internet media sources like IGN and another place was mentioning King Thrash Gaming's critique of Digital Foundry, and look at what
Wow.
happened. Digital Foundry lost face. So because they lost face, they lost money. Now, fast forward to now, all these naysayers who were saying Stadia is crap, Stadia ain't working, Stadia is this, Stadia is bad. Their fan base is actually trying Stadia and they're like, wait, you fucking lied to me. So now they want these other places to succeed that they're saying are better, but they want Stadia to die because they're trying not to have egg on their face and
I do.
lose that paycheck.
Yep. I get all of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think
Has I
it's
mean,
definitely that. It's definitely a part of that, but I think it goes deeper, man. You got to think
I
about the
mean, but
level
you,
of the
uh,
level of hate. It's kind of like
no.
let's celebrate. We're gonna have a wild party when Stadia dies. It's kind of like they're waiting on that day. You get what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
like
And
you're
I would feel bad if this was Xbox. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want Xbox to die. Fuck you, me die. I want Halo and Gears of War. I fucks with these games. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to kill my favorite franchises and shit. God of War. If PlayStation dies, shit. Are you
I mean,
serious?
and
Like
you gotta think about it
Nintendo?
like this. Nah, Nintendo was getting that type of hate. Nintendo was getting some major fucking hate. Right before the Switch launched, you should have seen the videos of the hatred that people were stating for it. Talking about Nintendo needs to fail. People were taking fucking Wiimotes, and because you remember how they were talking about it was going to be a hybrid system.
Yeah.
I remember one very prominent YouTuber taking his iPad and putting Wiimotes up to it, making fun of it. Look, I got to switch y'all. I got to switch y'all.
Yeah.
And then each and every fucking one of them got egg on their face. And half of them had to come out and make videos talking about, hey, I was wrong about the Switch. This system's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That's what the thing. You should have heard the negativity. You need to go back and try to hunt down videos of the Switch pre 2017, like when they announced the Switch in October. Or yeah, you need to find videos because people hated on this. So they know about Nintendo going to fail, this console is going to die, Nintendo's going to go third party, Nintendo needs to die, Nintendo needs to do this is the worst idea ever, you're moving away from home consoles to make a hybrid system, this thing's going to fail.
Yeah, I do
And
remember
then
some of that, Bunny. Now that you bring it up.
okay, hell, one YouTuber I know
All because
of
they a company wanted to try something different. That's that bullshit, man.
exactly one guy I know or I follow on YouTube. You know, he was straight PlayStation. Didn't have Xbox, didn't have Nintendo, blasey, blasey, blasey. Talked mad shit about Nintendo and what they needed to do, this, that, and the other. Never had a Switch. But then, guess what happened? Around Black Friday, he had enough points or something, and he went out and bought a Switch. And then by January, he was making a video talking about, I was wrong. This thing is awesome. He was doing all that trash talking shit before he ever owned one. And then after he owned one, he was like, oh, wow, this is a lot better than I thought it was. I find myself gaming a lot more on the Switch because I have more time because I can take it places with me.
The fuck is wrong with human beings, man? Is what I'm asking.
I
You
mean,
know,
my
what's
thing
wrong with them?
is here's my thing. Don't trash something until you try it. Like me, I say all the things I say about Xbox, but I'm not sitting up here saying Xbox should die. I'm not up here saying that Xbox is going to fail. I'm not up here being negative Nancy about how Xbox, I don't understand what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It could be the best system ever, but I know for a fact what they are marketing is not for me. And I
Man, we
sit there
got
and I say that. I
we
sit there
got
and I say that.
when you get a chance, we got Phantom cracking in the damn building. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
God,
What's the
Phantom,
damn
welcome
deal,
back.
homie? What's the
He
damn
back.
deal?
He back.
That's
He
what's up,
back.
man. That's what's up. It's good to see you up in this joint, man. That's real.
Welcome
Um,
back. Happy belated birthday. And I'm glad you're feeling better enough to come into the show.
damn right.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. But that's what I'm saying. I know for a fact the Game Pass model is not for me. And it's not because of it's a subscription based service, it's this, it's that, and whatnot. It's the
Mm-hmm.
fact of I look at what games is on that subscription based service and I'm like,
I like how you call that out because these your opinion needs to be heard in order to make all of this stuff better. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
you
mean,
think,
yeah, it's
yeah,
not for me.
because Google heard what the outside world was saying about its service and shit,
Hmm.
so they revamped. What did they do? Hey,
They
SG&E,
revamped it.
SG&E, y'all motherfuckers, y'all. I'm sorry, but we got to make this move. If we're trying to be successful, we got to make
Hmm.
this move. And see, that's why I always commend Microsoft for what they how they try to do things as far as with Game Pass and XCloud and all this shit. You hear me saying more and more how I can understand the logic of what they're trying to do. You know,
And it's not only that. Here's one thing. And I've always said this about Xbox, Yes, at times they can be a little, what's the word? A little shady about what they say.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they're perfectly transparent about what they're going to do. They didn't already told you, we don't care if you buy our consoles or not. We want you to get
Hmm.
Game Pass. They straight up said it. Our console sales don't matter. We want you on Game Pass.
And I like their vision. You see what I'm saying? Because their vision is in line with my vision as a gamer, as a consumer. Now I know that sounds selfish because I say it my, but there's a lot of
No,
gamers like
because
me.
exactly. But the reason it doesn't sound selfish saying my is because you're not speaking for an entire fan base.
Hmm.
That's when you get
Right.
egotistical.
Right.
You're not speaking for the entire fan base. You're just speaking for yourself.
Right.
Okay? You're not up here saying fan gamers want everything on the same platform, this, that, and the other. No, you're not saying that. You're just saying I want everything on the same platform.
Well, I'm gonna say this right now, and I need you, you know what I'm saying, to weigh in if you can. I know we're over a little bit and all that, but
Mhm,
um so I'm just thinking about how I want to say it, right?
mhm,
Shit, based off of what you just said, like, okay, so innovation and evolution is two key things for me. I talk about it all
mhm.
the time, Bunny. How can, and I want to know in your mind, how can companies innovate without going total cloud? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there any way that you could think of that stands out that they could innovate
Well, I
without
mean,
going cloud? I'm just saying for the people out there that is against the cloud, they want the shit to die. They never wanted it to be a thing in the first place. How can
I,
they innovate without pushing to something like the cloud?
I
Who
mean,
get
the
the
thing
cloud gets rid of all
is,
these boundaries and barriers. Just keep that in mind.
but the thing is, okay, here's the thing, right? It all boils down to choice. You can choose to, right now, you have choice. You can choose to use the cloud or you don't have to use the cloud. The people who are up here saying, I wish cloud would die, you still have a choice now. Now, if it got to a point where they took all of our consoles and all of our PCs away and said, oh, the only way you'll be able to game is on the cloud, then yeah, get up in fucking arms about it.
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
right.
Right now, the people who are up here saying cloud needs to die and cloud is bad and cloud is this and cloud is that, you don't have to play the cloud.
Right.
I mean, like, you see me up here saying, saying how Game Pass isn't for me and this, that, and the other. I'm not saying it should die now, am I? Because guess what? I don't have to play it.
You
Now,
don't.
the day you force me to play something, yeah, I'm going to have some words for you then. But I
Unless
have a
that
choice.
experience is great and thing and everything you never thought it would be. You know what I'm saying?
I
If
mean,
it's
not
something that
even
you can get
that.
down with.
But not even that, right? The moment and it all boils down to choice. For me, it boils down to choice. You're not going to sit here and tell me I'm going to do something. You're going to give me an option.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, all right. So now I'm thinking about like a parent, right? Think about a parent or aunt and uncle or whatever. Like you got to tell a kid what the hell to do sometimes because that kid will put their finger in the socket if you don't
But
scare the hell out
the
of them and tell
thing
them, don't you
is,
put your damn hand in that finger in that socket, you could die.
so
If you put something in that
so
socket, you could die. You know what I'm saying?
so
Like
you're telling me,
I'm just
let
saying,
me put it,
sometimes you gotta tell them what's best for them. Like you
so
gotta tell
let
them
me
what
tell
might be.
you,
But
let
hey,
me,
look. What
wait
I'm
a minute.
saying, Bunny, real quick is, yo, we bitching about ray tracing, we bitching about not having 120 hertz, and bitching about these consoles not working properly and all that stuff. Well, what if they had a ceiling, Bunny? I heard you talk about a peak and a ceiling before and all that. What if they
Uh-huh.
had a ceiling and they don't
Then
know
you
where the
need
hell
to,
to go except the cloud? You know what
but
I'm
see,
saying? But
here's the
now we're
thing.
keeping them locked into that whole damn traditional belief cycle, man. I hate that
But
shit.
see, here's the thing. If you are locked, I guarantee you, people would accept that more of you coming out straying. Hey, consoles, we're at the peak max in consoles. If you want better, you're going to have to jump to PC or to the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sit here and tell me. Okay, so like let's say I have my own little gaming company. I am Snow Bunny Gaming Corporation and I have, Animal Biscuits as my main platform game or whatever. And here you are, the consumer. Okay. And you
Yeah.
say, well, I want 120 frames per second. I want 8K. I want this. I want that. Okay. Now you look at that company and you tell the company that, right?
Yep.
And then the company looks at the technology and see that that is no way fucking possible. Okay.
Yeah.
Which would you respect more? Them telling you, oh, yeah, we're going to bring it to you next generation. Or, that is unrealistic. And for home consoles, unless you want to pay $1,500 for a home console, that's the only way you're going to get it.
I got you. Joe Hansel got a good point, man. Basically, cloud to me is not good because not too many servers. And I've definitely seen you say this before, bro. I heard you say it and I've seen you say it before. It's not, it's just not suitable for you because of the location that you're in. And that's crazy. And that's unfortunate too at
Mm-hmm.
the same time. So I definitely don't want to take away your experience in your
Mm-hmm.
case. You know what I'm saying? But I think I would hope that you would feel the same way. Like, damn, Storm, man, if you care about the evolution of gaming and you want to see gaming evolve in a way that unlocks these boxes and removes these developers, frees these
But that
developers
goes
to
back.
visualize and create these visions that we have never seen, or else
Oh,
we will still be playing the same old shit. Everybody steals off somebody else's plate, and then you develop your game. Like,
but see, that
that
goes
ain't what
back
I
to
want for
what.
gaming, man.
But see, that's what I was telling you a couple episodes ago. When game companies look at shit like this, they're looking at people in Joe Hansel's case.
Right,
They're looking. Joe Hansel is Phantom Kraken. They're looking at people in those type of situations. They're looking at people who can't gain the access to things that all other gamers can gain.
right,
That's something that they have to factor in and weigh out also. Are they going to leave? And then they also look at the fact of maybe they're looking at the population, they're looking at the analytics that these systems are sending them back in, talking about this, that, or whatnot. Well, this person's internet pings at this time, this, that, and that. They look at all that stuff. Do you think they're going to, as greedy as these companies are, let's get it out there, as greedy as these companies are, do you think they want to leave that chunk of change on the table
no, hell
without
no.
having to up the price of games, and people are already bitching about $60 and $70 games? They leave that chunk on the table that subsidize that to put your gaming experience to where it's at. And here's the thing, it's not the fact that gaming needs to die. You need to leave people with choices. Right now, Joe Hansel has a choice. He can try to do the cloud, or he can stick with traditional gaming consoles.
And I hope he will stick with the traditional because it's going to be the best experience for him. See, I ain't taking away the best experience for
Exactly.
people.
That's
You
what
see
I'm
how I
saying.
talk differently than all those that
Yeah.
said we
Like,
want Stadia dead and shit. Like,
I mean,
Stadia
and
for
that's the
me
thing.
does a lot of different things. And I gave a thorough breakdown, in my opinion, last night of why Stadia is out here kicking ass. And I understand where the hate is coming from. But it has to piss you off. And I want you to tell me real quick, if you can answer this, please.
Mhm.
Have you ever felt a time when you was just like, yo, I got to disconnect from this shit because these motherfuckers will piss me off, man, and make me just get out of my element. Like, have you ever had to like felt that you needed to take away from the Nintendo negativity or gaming negativity in general? Have you ever felt like you just need to take a break because the shit people are saying is just crazy? You know what I'm saying? And it's just too much.
Um,
Because I could take a lot of different shit, and some things I just brush off and I laugh about. But it's like when people are not thinking, that other people are enjoying something like Stadia, you know what I'm saying, or cloud gaming as a whole. And it's like if Stadia dies for me, I don't want to go and fuck with X Cloud or PS Now or Nintendo's Cloud and all that stuff because I just watched motherfuckers on those sides of the table kill a platform that's good for millions of people, including those with disabilities and every damn thing, man. Like, that's how I think. So I'm asking you, have you ever felt that way? Like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck it.
that's kind of a hard question for me to answer. In the beginning, I felt like that. I felt like um, And it wasn't even from the Nintendo fans. It was from other people because I was only on Nintendo, and people were like, "Well, you're an idiot. You're this. You're that. You only play those kiddie games." And then it got to the point of I was sitting there thinking, "Am I emotionally invested in what these fuckers say?"
Right. That's my point.
Um, and then when I realized the moment I become emotionally invested in what these fuckers say, something's getting wrong with me. It means it's coming to me on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point is when I sit there as like, okay, they can say whatever they want to say, but I'm happy with where I'm at. Um, some people some people get pissed at me. Like one guy, I remember coming on my Twitter saying something to me about something because I was just talking, and he's going to come on to my. I don't even know this dude. Never followed me, nothing like that. He would come on my Twitter page talking about you shouldn't be uh promoting or accepting what these big companies are doing, this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting here like, dude, who the fuck are you?
Mm-hmm.
And I literally was like, so what makes you think that I was talking about this company? I was just making a generalized statement because I wasn't talking about that company. I was just making a generalized statement. And then when I finally worded it and put it out there, I realized that I'm not the person with the issue. This dude is emotionally invested in this shit to where he takes a simple comment and twists it to his own narrative. So every time I look at things like that, like I have somebody on who always commenting on me about my PlayStation now, because they're not a huge PlayStation fan or whatever, and they're always making like slightly negative comments to me. And I'm sitting here looking at this person like, why are you emotionally invested in this? It's not it's these people are trying to turn us into emotionally invested into this gaming shit as they are, and we're not. You got to think all these people who are saying that Stadia should die and this, that, and the other, and having these huge, huge console wars, they're emotionally invested in something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they are mad. It's like kids on a playground. You know, we don't like you. We're mad at you because you don't believe the same things that we believe. Or you're not saying the same things that we're saying. Oh, you want to hang out with that person. Well, we don't like that person, so we're not going to hang out with you because you're hanging out with that person. I left that fucking mentality in high school.
Absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
and that's something you have to think about when every time you think about you need to walk away from this shit because the way these people are saying things. Number one thing you need to ask yourself is, are you getting emotionally invested in this?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're getting emotionally invested in it, then yes, you need to take a break.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
second
And I've
and
been there
this
before. Again, that's
yeah.
why I got away from the party chats and stuff on consoles, man. I was happy for Stadia because it freed me from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
just
and
not
and that's the one thing with Nintendo. Like people like when Nintendo don't have voice chat. I'm perfectly fine with Nintendo not having voice chat
right.
because
Right.
I
It
don't
will
have to
kill,
deal
it can kill gaming potentially for you as you know it.
exactly, exactly. Like on my PlayStation, I have the option of doing voice chat, but I haven't done voice chat yet. I don't even know how to set it up on Party Chat. So that's the thing you have to think about. Are you getting, and then after you think about that, if you're getting emotionally invested into this, then you got to sit there and think about why the hell is this person so emotionally invested in it? And I ask people, are you getting fucking paid by this company or some shit?
Right.
Because if you're not getting paid by this company, then why the fuck are you being like this? I can understand if you work for this company and
Right.
it's your job to protect their face. But if you ain't even getting free products,
See, for me, it's just a matter of I fucks with the platform. It's my favorite way to game. I don't give a damn. I can't control what I say it all the time. I'm on record saying the shit all the time. I can't control whether Stadia dies, but I ain't gonna sit here and mope and complain and wait for the damn downfall of it. I'm gonna keep on playing games and enjoying my experience on the shit because it's the best way to play in the cloud right now, to
the
me,
people who are a
in
lot
my
of the
opinion.
people who saying they hope Stadia should die and shit are these people who were once Stadia fans.
Well, some of them were, some of them were flip floppers and all that shit. Some of them don't know what the hell they want to do, and others are just like, real consumers who
Now,
really care
now,
about spending their money and shit. Like they really care. They want to know if they invest now that
no,
which is cool.
but see, that brings up a point that I had brought up a while ago about going all digital. That they're
Hmm.
worried about the number one thing that has happened to me and other gamers in the world when you go all digital with gaming. If that server shuts down, you done wasted your money. You done lost your money. You done lost all your gameplay. If that server shuts down, those people are worried about the exact same thing I worry about with going all digital. Because the moment that server shuts down, all that money you didn't put into it, like if Stadia dies, right?
Hmm.
If Stadia dies and those servers are shut down, you don't get your money back because you can't play those games no more. You get a nice little letter in the mail saying, in your email saying, thank you for participating, thank you for supporting Stadia for as many years as you are. We have to shut it down. That's all
Well,
you get.
hey, I tell you what, I need to get more than that. I'm gonna need some downloads. Now, if I could take my downloads elsewhere to Steam or whatever, I got a nice PC. If I could take my save files and shit over there, whatever the case is, I won't feel as bad because I invested in it knowing that the shit could happen. You know what I'm saying? Like everything
Yeah,
else.
but see, but that's the thing. Right now, if Stadia dies, you don't know if you can or not.
Hey, it is. That's what, now
And
that's the messed up part.
that's what the people who are questioning and worried about. Because, like I said, if they're that worried about it, 9 times out of 10, it's happened to them already.
And my thing is, if you're that worried about it, you may not want to spend your money, and you might want to look elsewhere. That's what I advise people
Exactly.
to do: look elsewhere. See, but somebody like me, again, I'm just gonna wisely
You,
spend
you, you
on
want.
certain games I want to play, and then I got other platforms that I can play games on if it shuts down. But for those
Mhm.
people who, yeah, it's a tough situation to be in. I can't lie, Bunny.
I mean, and that's the thing with a lot of people worried about going all digital, like me. That's one reason why I'm afraid to go all digital. And it's because I've had all digital games get taken from me where I couldn't play them anymore. And I didn't get no damn money back. I got a nice little letter saying, hey, thank you for supporting our game for all these years. We're shutting down the servers. I've had it happen to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's the reason, right? Like right now, anything that I can buy physical, I try to buy physical. The only stuff I have that's mainly digital is the only things that I can only get digital. Like right now, I'm so happy that a lot of companies who do visual novels and Atomi novels are doing them physical now. They're doing physical and digital. So I can buy the digital copy or I can buy the physical copy. Give me a choice. And that's the thing. That's what a lot of these people who want Stadia to die, who's worried about investing their money, that's what they're worried about because it's happened to them. They've lost everything on their all digital library. There's no guarantees. Like you just said, you don't know what will happen with your game library the moment Stadia dies. If Stadia dies, I'm sorry.
yeah. If that's
Yeah,
a if, man.
that's what I said. If Stadia dies, you don't know what's going to happen to your games. They haven't even outlined that 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 idea because they don't want people
No,
to
they mentioned
see
it
it.
down. They talked about it. Like I said, they say that you'll be able to download your files and you can use it on Steam or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So there is a backup plan. And if they don't deliver on that, then there's class action lawsuits and other
I
stuff
mean,
that can
but
occur.
that's what I'm saying.
But
So
but
people
hey,
are worried about that.
so I'm just like, look, man. First of all, so it's a tough situation, and it's a situation we're gonna run out of time on. But it's kind of like you have to know what you're signing up for, and that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand. Like you're signing up for these types of headaches sometimes to occur.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta look at it and say, hey, do I want to stick with this one platform, or do I want to invest in other ones as a safety net or whatever? So do I want to buy less games on Stadia, more games on Xbox, less games on Stadia, more games on PlayStation? You know what I'm saying? Like whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to learn how to balance that out, in my opinion. And that's what I do. So I'm good. So it frees me from all the rage and anger
Mm-hmm.
and shit like that. But
And
I
that's the
think,
thing.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so now you know how you always go back and forth with me talking about will I ever go all digital, this, that, and the other. Now you're beginning to see why some people are not jumping on the bandwagon of all digital.
No, I understood. I understood, but I'm just not down for the people who's trying to lock it to where we can't see what the hell cloud is capable of, truly capable of
Oh
in
no,
these
no, no.
games,
I
man.
mean, you can't, and that's with anything. You can't do that. You have to see, you have to look at it first to see what it can do. And then after you see what it can do, determine on cuz let's get something straight. Stadia is just like these other gaming companies. Look at how these other gaming companies have said, "Oh, yeah, everything this gen is going to be 4K 60." Look how Xbox has told you, "Oh, yeah, you'll be able to run all your games at 120 frames per second and 60 frames per second, and every time, and with ray tracing, and every time you try, your shit crash."
Mm-hmm.
They'll say one thing and it may not deliver.
Well, hey, it is what it is. I think it was a hellified discussion and a good place to
Yes,
stop
it
because I'm
was.
hungry as a mother right now. I ain't gonna
I
lie. I
gotta cook tonight.
talked up a hunger.
All right, so everybody who came today, we had Phantom Kraken, we had Johanzo. Johanzo was in here. I'm glad to see you. Amamore, hello. Thank you for showing up. Uncompetitive, Harry Tron, Jamal stopped in. We had a lot of people come through today. Thank you, everybody who came through.
Word for
You
sure.
know, where can they find you at this week, Storm?
Well, you can find me over on the SSC podcast with Moss with MM2K. You can find me on SML pod. That'll be on SSC. It'll be Thursday or Wednesday. I'm sorry, Wednesday. Roughly about we'll say anytime between 1 and 4. It depends on our schedules or whatever. And then
Mm-hmm.
SML podcast kicks off at 11 Eastern time on it'll be on this on the Stadia Doses news channel this Saturday. Check that out. It's going to be a good show. And pretty much on Twitter, you can find me at the Nephophiliac, but that's about it.
All right. So you can also find Project Storm and myself, along with MM2K and Tron Tron, over on the Commission, usually Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us there talking about all things gaming, all platforms gaming, everything gaming there. You know where to find me here on Snow Bunny Gaming. I haven't been streaming lately. My late night streams, I haven't been doing them lately. I've been a little tired. I'm hoping to start it back up, but I've been a little tired here lately. Work's been really exhausting for me. Literally, I got off the phone yesterday at 4 o'clock and I slept to 10 p.m. So I've been really, really exhausted. So I'm hoping to start those back up. I'm going to get some gameplay footage back up on my PlayStation on my channel this week, hopefully, depending on again on what my work schedule is looking like. You can find me at SnowBunny426 on Twitter. Also, you can find this show on, I believe, Spotify, iTunes, and we are still on Radio Public. So you can find Ying Meets Yang of Gaming. Listen anywhere you want to, any way you want to, anyhow you want to, anytime you want to. Have a wonderful week, everyone. This week, games coming out this week. What's today's date? So, Persona 5 Strikers is coming out on Tuesday. And I know Bravely Default 2 is coming out, I believe, on Friday. Anything coming out for you, Storm, that you want to highlight?
Not right now. Not in the near future that I could think of.
Okay, so yeah, I'm only getting Persona 5 Strikers because I got too much coming out in March. Plus, I'm not sure if I even like the Bravely Default because I didn't like the first demo. I got to test. You can see right here on my on my page screen here. I got to test the new demo for it. So, guys, catch us next week, Sunday, same time at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Snow Bunny Gaming. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Peace, y'all. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks. Bye.